In this issue of What Shape is Your House In, Matt and I will be discussing some of the most common defects we find during a deck inspection. If you find this informative, please hit the subscribe button and leave your recommendations and comments as well.
Hi, this is Matt with All the Home Inspections. There's very little as Americans that we like more than mom, apple pie, and our decks. Unfortunately, several decks were never constructed properly, so I'm going to show you some of the most common defects we see during home inspections. Hi, this is Matt with All the Home Inspections. So during a deck inspection, we're always looking at a lot of different things. One of the most critical parts of your deck is your support post. This support post is a 4x4. It is buried in the ground, and it is approximately 10 feet high. 4x4 posts are not rated for any heights over 4 feet off the ground. So once you cross 4 feet above ground, you need to go to a 6x6 or larger.
This cedar post, sitting on a concrete pier, has been here for over 40 years and is in pretty good shape. Unfortunately, this other cedar post is just 8 feet away. Also on a concrete post, the dirt settled in around it, and this post has rotted out enough that I can put my hand all the way under it. This is going to have to be replaced and will require a qualified contractor to fix.
So as we look underneath the deck here on this side, you can see where it's actually all up against the house. By the time you get to the far end of the deck, you can see where it's pulled out away from the house by a couple inches. You can see up here where there's no flashing coming out from underneath the deck, and the floor joists themselves have no joist hangers around them. During a home inspection, when we're inspecting the deck, we are always looking to see how the deck has been secured to the house. So in this particular deck, they've used lag bolts, which are not ran all the way in, and they're straight across in an even line. These lag bolts are not even the proper size. So you need a 1/2 inch lag bolt that's at least 3.5 inches long, and it has to go in a staggered W pattern every 18 inches. So when you're building your deck, make sure when you secure it to the house that you use the proper bolts and use the proper stagger pattern.
In addition to improper attachment to a cantilever, this deck does not have proper deck flashing. Deck flashing is important because it eliminates the possibility of rim joist rot, which can end up in the deck falling away from the house.
The deck BandAid on this deck, as in with the other decks, is not acceptable. We always recommend having a qualified contractor evaluate them and repair them as necessary. Posts and pillars should always end on a concrete pad to help prevent rotting. I want to take a moment to show you several right things on a deck. As you see, the posts are in on a sonotube, so they're not going to be buried in the ground and they're not going to rot off. Our beam out here is actually a 3 2x10s used for the beam. Or actually, you only need 2 2x10s. They were properly notched into the 6x6, and then when they added the third one, they added another 2x6 that runs all the way down and sits on the sonotube for it. The contractor went way overkill here. There's nothing wrong with that. He used 2x10 floor joists on a 10-foot span on 16-inch centers. You can actually do a 14-foot span on 16-inch centers with 2x10s. This particular deck was built to hold a Sherman tank on top of it. It is not going to go anywhere for a really, really long time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below. If you need a home inspection in the St. Louis area, please call 314-257-0040. And in the Metro East, give us a call, 618-593-9631.